Hey guys, what's up? All my Ableton music producer friends, it's going to be a little bit different, and I'm not even going to wait for people to show up. If you guys want to interact, you can, but this is going to be kind of short and quick. So, I just celebrated a birthday yesterday, which was very nice, except for the fact that, we're a little more isolated now, so I couldn't like have a big group of people together and that sort of thing. But you pick a few individual people and you hang out separately and you do it responsibly, and it's good fun. That is not necessarily what I'm here to say, but during birthdays, you tend to reflect on certain things and reflect on life. And hello to those who are just tuning in. So this isn't going to be your typical like Ableton training sort of live thing. It's just something that kind of came to my head, and I think that it could be useful. And what I'm going to share, I'm not, I'm not trying to tell you that this is the truth. What I'm trying to tell you is that this might be useful to you as a way of approaching things. I see that life is kind of in this, moving in this direction as far as the way reality works. So kind of my belief system is that reality is kind of, there's no time, so everything exists at the same time, which is a very strange thing. But if we play like an Xbox game or a PlayStation game, everything in that game is on a disc. And then when we play the game, it seems sequential, but it's not really sequential. It's just information bouncing from one part of the disc to another. Does that make sense? So I think life is a little bit that way too. So, obviously life is like a choose your own adventure. And what we do every time we make a decision is we step into a different part of that universal disc, or the disc of reality, if you will. So let's just imagine that instead of time, me moving my hand from here to here, as opposed to that being a linear thing, what it is it's moving step by step through different realities that just have one snapshot each. All right. My cat's probably going to go crazy because he's playing with his stuffed animal. So given that, if you feel like you're living in a bit of Groundhog Day, where every day just kind of feels the same, nothing new is happening, you feel like things aren't necessarily getting better, maybe you feel like things are getting worse, but maybe things are just stagnant, and you want to switch things up. So one experiment that I try that seems to work for me that I wanted to share with you guys is, hold on just a sec. See, this is live. The cat's, oh, now he's going to shut up right when I look at him. That's the way it works. Okay, so, so the way I look at reality is, the decisions that we make move us into different snapshots. So we go through, let's just say, millions of snapshots every second that lead us to a new reality. So we can take this path or this path. Both paths already exist, but our consciousness, our awareness only goes to one path. Make sense? So with that, I find that if you want to change your reality, you don't need to do a lot of really big things. You do a lot of little things that are different than your normal routine. So you're basically trying to break your routine. And by breaking your routine, you're actually putting yourself on a slightly different timeline, if you will, because you're not doing the same thing that you normally do. So that actually takes you, here's the thing is, as something separates, it doesn't look like it's that much difference, but over time, these two different paths get further and further apart, right? So these little things can turn into big movements. So what I recommend to you guys, if you want kind of a fresh perspective, and you kind of want to move into maybe a better part of yourself, or something that can reach more potential, what I recommend is start your day off being very conscious of everything that you do and switch it up. So if you normally get out of bed on one side of the bed, get out on the other side of the bed. Just something simple like that. If you normally brush your teeth with your right hand, do it with your left hand. If you normally take a shower first before you do such and such, do something different before you take your shower. Just keep on switching things. Every time you think you're going to do like the usual thing, do it a little bit differently, If you go to the kitchen and you open the refrigerator door, shut the door and reopen it. That changes something in the pattern. You understand what I'm saying? So any way that you could shift these little patterns, it's just going to keep you aware of the decisions that you're making. And by making decisions with more awareness instead of being automatic, that in itself is going to kind of shift you, I think, to a more preferred timeline, So if you don't feel very creative, this is a great way to stir your creativity again, just by doing things differently. When you go to work on music or something, change it up. Do it the wrong way, and then mess around in different ways and see what these little things can do in your day. If you've got a certain pattern of a restaurant that you always go to or food you always order something different that you haven't done. If you normally feel like doing this one thing, you put it off because you think it's a little too expensive, just do it, right? Just do it so you can see what that experience is like. Those are like the little things that can like shift so much and get you out of this whole Groundhog's Day of everything you do is 99% the same shit you did yesterday and the day before. It breaks you out of a lot of patterns without you having to do like anything extravagant, right? That's really the whole thing. It's something that I'm playing with. It's something that I encourage you to play with. And I'd love to hear in the comments if you try this out over the next few days. I'd love to hear if you've noticed any shifts, if anything comes to you, if new patterns, or if maybe you went down this street instead of the other and something new happened that was interesting, right? That wouldn't have happened if you hadn't made that shift. Try things out. Talk to people that you wouldn't normally talk to. If you're walking by a homeless person and you're thinking about giving them money, but you always walk by them, give them money instead, or, just do something different, or give them conversation instead of ignoring them. All these sorts of things breaks your pattern, and it helps you become a new, more full person because you're actually adding new experiences to your life experience. I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't get too esoteric, too weird and woo-woo, but I'm a little bit of that kind of guy. So if it's useful for you, put it to use. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll speak to you guys real soon. Take care, guys.